Louisiana Senator John Kennedy is joining us now. He serves on the Judiciary Committee. Sir, welcome to you and good to have you here. So, Senator, do you want to see the National Guard sent into Chicago?
Well, I would prefer to have them invited. But if I could, Sandra, I want to make a comment, a rare note of gratitude to Governor Newsom. He has surprised all of us and done something intelligent. He has decided to send the state police, California State Police, into his major cities to help local cops fight crime and violence. Now, you don't have to be a senior at Caltech to know that that's in response to the Trump administration's threat to send in federal law enforcement officials. But look, I'll take it. If that's what it takes to get Governor Newsom to stop being a princess, I'll take that too.
Well, he seems to be calling out your state, and he's saying, hey, look at the red states and the crime that they're dealing with. Here he is yesterday during that presser. Listen.
If he is to invest in crime suppression, I hope the President of the United States would look at the facts. Just consider Speaker Johnson's state and district. Just look at the murder rate that's nearly 4 times higher than California's in Louisiana.
How do you respond to the governor on that?
I welcome help. I welcome federal help. I welcome more state help. I welcome local help. Come on down. Look, I've watched Governor Newsom for years. And to quote one of my favorite columnists, he's put the funk into dysfunction. Every year that he's been governor, crime and violence has gotten worse in California. Why? Because Governor Newsom is a member of the socialist wing of his party. Because Governor Newsom has refused to get up off his ice-cold, lazy butt and do something about it. Because Governor Newsom thinks that talking about crime, he's only doing it under pressure, is racist. Because he thinks that cops are a bigger problem than criminals. But I want to give him credit. Maybe he's had a conversion, but he's doing the right thing by sending in California State Police, and even a blind chicken finds a mealworm now and then.
Well, we have had a handful, more, I should say, on this show and across this network of Chicago residents, some registered Democrats, who have come on and said, please send in the help. Here's just some of them. Listen.
This is my real life. I've lost an uncle to Chicago crime. I've lost 2 first cousins to Chicago crime. I've lost distant family members, friends, neighbors. And what they want us to do is find comfort in this chaos and normalize this trauma. And we're not doing it anymore.
Just last night at 3 a.m. in the morning, down the street from me, I heard 7 gunshots. It's no way Brandon Johnson or Governor Pritzker would allow their family to go through the things that they know we are going through.
You hear that, Senator, and you have to wonder why Democrats think it's politically savvy to tell those people your concerns don't matter. That city doesn't need the help. Governor Pritzker posts a beautiful video on the lakefront in Chicago and says, this is the beautiful city that we live in, not acknowledging the crime that they're living and feeling every single day. Final thought from you, Senator.
People want to be safe, whether they live in Chicago or Louisiana. It's undeniable that Chicago has a crime problem. It's one of the world's largest outdoor shooting ranges. One of the biggest risks in Indiana is stray bullets coming over from Chicago. I said yesterday, even the mafia is leaving Chicago because of crime. If I were the governor and mayor and I had a problem like this, I would welcome all the help I could get, including but not limited to law enforcement officials from the federal government.
So to be clear, you would welcome the National Guard coming into to Louisiana?
In a skinny minute.
Copy that.
any help they want to give us, we will gladly take.
Got it. Senator, always good to have you on the program. Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.